3 Food combination mistakes. Sometimes, mixing certain foods isn't a good idea, and these combinations show it. Not all healthy micronutrients and vitamins work well together. In fact, sometimes they can even block each other's absorption. There are things you can do to reduce the likelihood of making these undesired combinations. The best option is to make healthy dishes that don't mix more than 5 elements. In this article, we'll tell you which ones don't work well together. Iron. Iron is a micronutrient that is capable of boosting your immune system, giving you more energy, and being a great ally against stress and depression. Also, it's necessary for proper development in children. You can find iron in foods like red meat, liver, oats, peas, beans. What you should eat it with. These ingredients go together perfectly with foods that are rich in vitamin C. This is because this vitamin encourages the absorption of iron. So, don't wait to use it with citrus, red peppers, cabbage. What you shouldn't eat it with. So you don't reduce your absorption of this mineral, it's a good idea that you don't mix iron-rich foods with produce. Also, drinks like tea, coffee, and chocolate can also have this adverse effect. It can prevent the possible absorption of calcium due to its phenolic compounds. The same thing happens with pasta that are rich in fiber. This is because of their content of phytates that get in their way of absorbing iron like you should. Zinc. Among the foods rich in zinc, we find pumpkin seeds, walnuts, pine nuts, peanuts, germinated wheat, liver, beans. Thanks to this mineral, you help your immune system. You also get an energy boost. At the same time, it's great for increasing your memory, strengthening your bones, hair, and nails, preventing problems like diabetes and arthritis. What you should eat it with. Foods that are rich in zinc should be eaten with those that are rich in manganese, like raspberries, grapes, strawberries, and blueberries. Also, it goes well with vegetables like beets, green beans, garlic, carrots, onions, spinach. What you shouldn't eat it with. It's better to not mix this kind of food with dairy products. This is because calcium gets in the way of zinc absorption. Also, you need to avoid products with phenolic compounds like tea, coffee, chocolate and foods rich in fibers. Calcium. Calcium can be found mainly in dairy products. This means milk, yogurt, cheese, cottage cheese, etc. and this is a compound that is in charge of strengthening your bone and teeth health. At the same time, it gives good functioning to your muscles and your nervous and cardiovascular system. What you should eat it with. This is a great food to mix with others that are rich in potassium like dried apricots and raisins. In this case, potassium encourages the absorption of calcium. There are several foods you can mix with calcium-rich foods without a negative reaction. Among them, we find carrots, pumpkin, beets, cabbage, radishes. What you shouldn't eat it with. Foods that are rich in calcium shouldn't ever be mixed with baked goods like white bread. It also shouldn't be mixed with refined foods like industrial baking products. This is because simple carbohydrates get in the way of calcium absorption. It also isn't recommended to eat foods that are rich in calcium with foods that have a high sugar content. In this case, your digestive system needs a lot of calcium to digest this kind of food. Products that are rich in zinc aren't the best to use with dairy products. This is because they reduce the effectiveness of the calcium. Recommendation. Vitamin D is necessary for absorbing calcium. So, don't wait to eat vitamin D foods along with your dairy dishes. Try to eat salmon, cod liver, eggs,